Good evening, everybody. You're watching the Just Keep Up podcast, where we're one step ahead. I'm Kurt Johnson. This is Pete Zindros. We're excited to be back to you guys here on this Monday. We have a great show planned for you tonight. We have a lot to talk about, lots to get into. Big show. Our featured story tonight, we're going to be talking all about JD Vance's speech in Munich. It was pretty based. So we're going to be talking all about it. We're also going to be talking about how Ashley St. Clair and Elon Musk have a baby. What? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, if you guys don't know who, you guys obviously know who Elon Musk is, big figure. He's basically the president of the United States. Basically, he's with Trump so much, and his son said that Elon's the president and everything like that to Trump's face. So, yeah, he's virtually the president. But yeah, so Elon Musk gets Ashley St. Clair pregnant. She's like this right wing political, movement and in her own way. And so yeah, she's a pretty big figure, bro. So this is it has X buzzing right now, and so does the JD Vance speech in Munich has the whole right wing community on their seats right now. So we're gonna talk about all of it, guys. So it is gonna be a great show. It's going to be a little bit of an unconventional show for YouTube, guys. So usually we talk sports on Mondays, kind of dry other than the All-Star game. Maybe we'll give our take on it at the end. But today we're excited to bring you guys politics. We'll try to keep it as PG as possible so we can make it there. But we'll see. But it is going to be a great show. Before we get into it, I'm going to remind you to smash the follow button here on Rumble to get a push notification every time I post. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, we appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Help us to reach and to impact as many people as possible. Also, guys, follow me on YouTube and Rumble at Kurt's Philosophy if you are interested in the world's deepest, darkest secrets. Bro, do you have anything before we start the show?
No.
All right. So yeah, guys, we're gonna jump right into it here. So we're gonna talk about the JD Vance speech in Munich first. It was pretty base, guys. I'm not gonna lie. If it was anybody else, I would give a round of applause. If it was anybody else besides JD Vance, but we're gonna talk about it. This is from the BBC. This quote says, "JD Vance attacks Europe over free speech and migration. U.S. Vice President JD Vance has launched a scandalous attack on European democracies, saying the greatest threat facing the continent was not from Russia and China, but from, quote, within. It had been expected that Vance would use his speech at the Munich Security Conference to address possible talks to end the war in Ukraine. Instead, he spent the majority of his time accusing European governments, including the UK's, of retreating from their values and ignoring voter concerns on migration and free speech. The address was met by silence in the hall, later denounced by several politicians at the conference. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said it was not acceptable. So, guys, to make a long story short, JD Vance gave like a 20-minute speech in Munich, and they thought they were going to talk about how they were going to resolve the war in the Middle East. But instead, he completely attacked their democracy. He said, "You guys aren't right wing enough." He said, "The left wing, the democracy is destroying the country from within." He says, "You guys need to side with Trump." He says, if we can deal with Elon Musk for 3 months, they can deal with JD Vance." Ha ha ha! Like that's funny. It's not, and he needs to shut up. But he did mention all of that, and he did say some pretty base stuff in there. He said, "You guys don't allow free speech. You guys don't allow. You guys aren't listening to your people when they're hearing you, and all that." So, what's your take on this based speech from JD Vance?
I've always been a believer in free speech. He does have a point there. I mean, I think the elite should also listen to the public sometimes, since the public also has to listen to them all the time. So I kind of agree with him on those two things there. So overall, I think it was a good speech. In terms of ending the war in the Middle East, what specifically did he talk about, like for that specific topic, since that's
No,
what he went for, like originally?
nothing. That's why they were so mad because and that's why the Twitter community is going blazing right now because they're like, wow, he went there to talk about the war in the Middle East, but instead he was red pilling. That's so base. That's what they were saying, bro, because he didn't talk about it at all, and he caught everybody off guard.
Oh, he's a loser then. He's a loser then. He's a loser for lying, but at least the points he got across made sense, and I do agree with them. So I'll give him a W there, but L for lying. He's a loser.
Yeah, so I would say that if this was anybody else, this would be a great speech, right? Unfortunately, because it's JD Vance, it's not funny, right? He cracked a joke, no one laughed, no aura. Like everyone in the room was completely silent when he joked around. Like he's not funny, he's fat. He doesn't stand for anything that America stands for. Okay. Now, I say this all the time in politics because you guys think I'm hard on JD Vance, right? I got a lot of uh, comments on that on TikTok that I'm just hard on JD Vance and I just don't want to win. Curtis, you just don't want to win. I want to win. Okay. The problem is this is not a win. Okay. So JD Vance goes there. And before I even get to that, right, I always say in politics, guys, what do I say? It's not about the what, it's not about the when, it's not about the why. It is about who is saying it, right? Any politician can tell you anything ever, right? Any politician can move things and do things, right? So that maybe make you feel like they're doing something, like they make you feel like you're on your side. If you listen to the speech and said, oh my God, that was a base speech. Did you not hear JD Vance? That was a base speech. If you're saying that, congratulations. All they did, you were the intended audience. You were the intended person. You don't think they went into the speech saying, we're going to write down things that could make the right wing community feel good? You were their intended audience. Congratulations, right? But in politics, unfortunately, it is about who. It is about who is saying these things. And we have to look into who is JD Vance. Okay. So, regardless of what he says, regardless of even the little things that he might do, because he's sounding more base than Donald Trump right now. He is sounding, the rhetoric is better than Trump. I mean, JD Vance's rhetoric is awesome. One problem, I know the guy on a deep level and I know his life and I studied his life in and out and I know that he's a fraud. Okay. So who is JD Vance? Just to give you guys a brief history lesson. It won't be long, I promise. But if you, and Pete, this will be for you too. That way you know my distinct for JD Vance. Who is JD Vance? JD Vance graduates from Harvard Law School. Okay. Law school. He gets in contact at the law school with Peter Thiel. Okay, now I'll explain who Peter Thiel is later, but just so you guys get the story. So JD Vance graduates from law school. He then gets a job in biotech at a law firm in Silicon Valley. So law school, biotech. How does a person that graduated from law know about investing and all of that? The CEO of that law firm says he hired JD Vance as a favor from Peter Thiel. Okay, so he got a job from Peter Thiel. So what? Well, one problem. The workers there say for 9 months straight, they didn't see him much. He didn't do much at all. He was just there and he was just racking up money and he didn't do much. No one had ever really seen him. He then leaves from that law firm to go to another law firm. Instead, this law firm is Peter Thiel's direct law firm, where he's a high-ranking official there, and he was not at the office much. He wasn't really doing much, right? So again, this is the second place that he's at where the workers are like, he hasn't done much. He hasn't, no one's seen him. No one even knows who this guy is. I mean, why does he even work here? Who knows? He then leaves that law firm to start his own law firm. And then you're like, well, how does that make sense? Peter Thiel gave him $150 million to start his own law firm. So now you're like, okay, wait a minute. So this law school guy ends up going to Silicon Valley, then ends up going to work with Peter Thiel. Now Peter Thiel gives him $150 million to start his own firm? Don't you think if someone gave someone $150 million to start their own firm, they would have to dedicate their lives to that person? I don't know about you guys, but no one's walking around handing me $150 million with no strings attached. Like, is that happening? And if you say yes, I question your intelligence. And that's me saying it nicely. Okay. So he starts his own firm. Okay. That goes okay. But, he writes articles shitting on Trump, etc. Right. Then he needs to run for senator in Ohio. This is 2021. It's almost over, guys. This is who JD Vance is. This is why I don't trust him. So now he's being brought up literally by Peter Thiel. Okay. So he runs for senator of Ohio in 2021. One problem, he needs the help of Donald Trump to become the senator of Ohio. But there's one problem with that. He is a never Trumper. So Peter Thiel gets Trump on the phone to meet with JD Vance and squash things over. And at the end of the dinner, Trump endorses JD Vance as senator of Ohio. 2 months later, JD Vance becomes senator of Ohio. So you ask yourself, this Peter Thiel guy is really saving JD Vance in every single way possible, right? Who the hell is Peter Thiel? And to put it nicely, Peter Thiel is this Zio who is involved in homosexual endeavors, has a husband and everything. And how did he make his money? He owns a company called Palantir. Palantir is worth around $250 billion. Palantir is owned by. And you ask yourself, what is Palantir? Palantir is a CIA contracted agency that is also intelligence. Okay, so, and you're like, intelligence for who? Well, 80% of the people that work there, can anyone guess the ethnicity? And also, within addition to that, they asked Peter Thiel, they said, why'd you start this? He says, because I owe everything to Israel. So you are seeing Peter Thiel is this neocon Zio who puts Israel first, and he's literally made JD Vance. So you're seeing, and who's pushing for JD Vance's presidency? Who's pushing for him to be the face? Elon Musk, illegal immigrant. Vivek Ramaswamy, immigrant. Curtis Yarvin, neocon. Who else? Joe Kent, CIA. So, like, bro, it goes on and on and on where these guys are from this either CIA, Israel infiltrated that area, or you're seeing the immigration area, right? Vivek Ramaswamy was, and this is the last thing I'll say before we move on, and I want to know your take on it. And a lot of you guys don't know this. Vivek Ramaswamy was the roommate of JD Vance in college. They were roommates. Okay. Back a couple months ago, Vivek Ramaswamy got thrown out of the campaign because he said Americans are lazy. He got thrown out of the campaign. He's now hated by the right wing, and because he said Americans are lazy, and it's not because of any type of supremacy. It's because Americans are lazy. So we have to bring the H-1B visas because Americans are lazy, and everybody hates him. Elon departed from him. Everybody hates him. JD Vance wrote a book in 2016, and in that book, he said the same exact thing Vivek is saying right now. Americans are lazy, and he married an illegal immigrant because whites were a disgrace to their own kind and everything else like this, and everyone loves him. So how can two people say the same thing and everyone loves one guy and everyone hates the other? Well, there's only one common denominator here. Peter Thiel. Okay, Peter Thiel is one of Trump's top donors. Peter Thiel, Trump will do anything Peter Thiel asks. He's gave him about $500 million over the course of his entire life. So you're seeing the people that are backing JD Vance, they're not America first, okay? So that is my long-winded way of saying I do not care about this speech. There is absolutely nothing that JD Vance can say that is going to convince me that he is on our side. Well, Curtis, you don't want to win. You don't want to win. This is not a win. Okay. He is controlled opposition. Okay. And I just thoroughly broke it down for you guys. I would give you a Dom the Marco if I had it. But what is your take on everything I just said? Because it was a lot about Fat Boy JD Vance.
What I'm kind of getting from this is that JD Vance used illegals to gain power. So that way, when he works his way into power, he's the vice president now. He's also the favorite to be America's next president. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to run. Once he gains that role, he can benefit the other countries that he wants. And that involves Israel, wherever the hell Elon Musk is from. I don't know what race Elon is, but this is kind of just what I'm getting from it. He's just, he's kind of just taking advantage of everyone to gain power, and then he's just going to give back to where he thinks he owes it.
Right, but the problem is JD Vance has been a puppet his entire life. When he steps in office, he owes his life to Peter Thiel. He owes his life to Curtis Yarvin. He owes his life to Elon Musk. What do they all have in common? Neocon, Zio, Jew first. That's what's going to happen. So who's pushing for JD Vance? Jewish neocons? So am I going to agree with that? So again, guys, it's not about the what, the where, the why. It's about who. It's about personnel. If you look at who is backing JD Vance, it's all the wrong people. So why would we support that? Vivek is saying the same exact thing as JD Vance, and he's thrown out of the right-wing community. The problem is he doesn't have the backing of these Silicon Valley donors. That's the problem, right? And so you have to look at it and say, what is the likelihood JD Vance was a never Trumper because Thiel was a never Trumper? The moment they needed Trump's endorsement in 2021, Thiel decides, hey, I gave you $500 million, endorse my boy. And that's exactly what he does. Elon Musk says, I gave you $230 million. Peter Thiel says, I gave you $100 million. Miriam Adelson says, I gave you $150 million. They all love JD Vance. It's no coincidence he chose JD Vance. They all love him. They have said, choose him. This was not Trump's decision. Okay. They're all looking after Trump, like I told you. So this is worse than I thought. I thought that Trump would have 1 year. He doesn't. It's over. JD Vance is in charge, right? JD Vance is fully in charge. They asked Trump, they said, who's going to be your successor? Is it JD Vance? He said, too early to tell. And you know what they said? Elon Musk laughed. He giggled. He thought that was funny. You think Trump is in charge? He's not. Okay. And so, not to make this whole thing about that, but yeah, I just wanted to break it down for you guys. So when I call JD Vance Fat Boy JD Vance, or I don't trust him or whatever, he literally wrote a book about how he married an illegal immigrant because he was disgusted with white people. How is this okay? How did no one surface this? Okay. Also, I forgot to mention during that time, he also changed his name. His name isn't JD Vance. His name is fake. I forget his actual name, but it's like some it's not a pleasant name. I'll just say that. I was going to say something else, but yeah, even JD Vance is a fake name. Everything about him is completely fake. Okay, he was literally made from Peter Thiel. Everything. He owns his life to Peter Thiel. So, but yeah, guys, we'll move on. We will get into our next topic, which is going to be a quick one. Is Ashley St. Clair and Elon Musk had a baby, right? This is absolutely wild. So Elon Musk, if you guys don't know, this is his 13th child, okay, and like his 6th baby mama. So he is, yeah, he gets down, okay. And Ashley St. Clair is this political pundit. She is a figure. She is involved in the right-wing community. And Ashley St. Clair she's met Trump, like she's, so that's how connected she is. And she decides that she wants to post the baby and say, I had this baby 5 months ago on Valentine's Day. She says, I had this baby 5 months ago, and the father is Elon Musk. So no one knew. She just randomly posted a baby. No one even knew she had a baby. She randomly posted it on Valentine's Day and said that the father is Elon Musk. And she puts in the comments like, "Thank you for all your guys' support, and please don't attack me, or whatever the case may be. Blah blah blah. Like, don't dox the baby. Like, really, really." Don't dox the baby. Like the baby has some fucking Twitter account and is like posting memes, posting man mustache man memes, and people are trying to dox the baby. Like the baby's trying to kidnap people. Like what's the standard for doxing? Right? Like someone trying to dox the baby? I've never heard of that. So what is she talking about? But so what is your take? So Ashley St. Clair and Elon Musk apparently have a baby, and she's decided that she wanted to post it on Valentine's Day. No one cares. And she then wants to say, please don't attack me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't dox the baby. And Elon Musk is yet to comment. He's not answering any questions on it. So what's your take on that?
She's a dumb woman for saying that. I will say that respectfully because we're also on YouTube, but she is a very dumb and stupid woman for saying that. But on the other hand, I'm glad she made it public because we need to realize Elon Musk is a terrible human being. I absolutely hate this guy. Like the way Kurt hates JD Vance is literally how I hate Elon Musk. Okay, I absolutely hate this guy. I am so pissed that he is in Trump's office, and unfortunately, he probably has more power than Trump at the moment. Trump is literally letting
Yes.
him do whatever he wants. I absolutely hate this guy. Like, bro, the guy has 13 kids with 6 different women. Like, bro, can you not keep your dangling to yourself? Like, what the hell is wrong with you, bro? Like, that alone should specify what Elon is. Okay, he has billions of bucks and he can afford it. Cool. But do you still think having 6 baby moms is a normal thing? No, it is not. He clearly can't keep his thing to himself. This is one example of proving he's a terrible human being because his beliefs about what society should be are terrible, about AI robots taking everybody's jobs, just so he and the right can get filthy rich while the left and the middle all suffer. He's a horrible human being. I'm glad Ashley exposed him because now people are gonna realize he's even more of a horrible human being, as he should be. And yeah,
Yeah, bro. I mean, I truthfully just think no one's gonna care. Like, people think it's based. Like, people are like, based, Elon, another based. It's like, bro, give me a fucking break, bro. Like, why don't you just go stick it where the sun don't shine, right? Like, the IQ in America, and this last thing I'll say before we kind of wrap it up here, but the IQ in America is just unfathomable, bro. Like, bro, even at work today, bro, like I'm just like, bro, I can't be here anymore. Send God wherever you are, send the asteroid. Send it right to my address. Kill me first. Like this is terrible. I mean, bro, the IQ in America is so terrible. I'm having a conversation with this lady, and this all ties back to the IQ in America and stuff. But I'm having a conversation with this lady, and to make it a long story short, we were talking for 2 minutes back and forth, and she's like, "So what should I do?" And I'm not going to say the context of the conversation, but it's like, how can you have a back and forth conversation for 2 minutes and still ask the same question you did 2 minutes before? I'm like, bro, I where, bro. I'm looking at my drawers, bro. I'm like, where is it, bro? I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. I literally can't. You can't have a conversation anymore. The IQ is down the fucking drain, bro.
yeah. I mean, it is proven that immigrants do have a higher IQ than Americans. Like Asians have the highest IQ on the planet. And then, it's a bunch of like other countries from like Europe, like Switzerland, Sweden, all those countries, like all of them have higher IQs than Americans. I've even seen girls talking about it. in videos before. Like I swear to God, guys, I've literally seen guys interviewing girls like on the streets, and they're asking them what they think about American men, and they're just saying they're trash because they're stupid as hell, and they have no IQ and they know nothing about stuff like geography and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, she's not wrong. Like even the stats could back her up on this. It's been proven that Americans have a lower IQ than Asians and immigrants in general. So I can't even like argue back with that.
Well, we have to remember IQ is not, it's not something, it's not education. IQ is you either have it or you don't, right? And so I think the IQ might be down because of the immigration. I would argue it's because of the immigration. It's because of um, the people coming over and you're race mixing and doing all these things, and so you're coming up with different IQs. But what I will say is that the IQ in America is going way down. It's at like a 95 now, right? And so it's gone way, way down. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Like I said, it's the race mixing, but also it's the foods. It's, you know, there's a lot that goes into it. The laziness of Americans, right? And it all started. We know how it started, right? The laziness started because of free trade, right? What free trade did was free trade allowed you to do imports and exports. It allowed you to shop online and get things from other countries. And what that did was factories went out of business. So when factories got out of business, men didn't have jobs. Because men don't have jobs, they go to drugs or they kill themselves or they do other nefarious activities, which causes a bunch of other issues, right? And so that's where it stems. So the government has their hands full, and they do have they're not they're not innocent in this, but I do blame it on Americans for being lazy and having low IQ as well. But it's just it's gotten to the point where you cannot. I literally a day does not go by where I don't say, "God send the asteroid." There's not a day that goes by that in my head I just think, "What the fuck, who, bro? Where am I?" Bro, I have days, bro, where I'm legit like I do not belong here. Where I'm like, "Am I the only sane person here? What the hell is going on?" Right? Like, you have workers talking to their bosses crazy. It's like, bro, who the fuck are you talking to? Right? Like, I shouldn't even have to say that. We have customers coming in asking stupid questions, right? Like, bro, how do you, bro? I'm gonna be 100%. This is what happened the other day, right? So, guest is asking, they buy a 60-minute card, okay? They buy one card for 60 minutes. The chick says, "How long is the card active for?" I'm like, "Bro, are we on the same planet?" I'm like, 60 minutes. Bro, unfucking believable. And I'm just like, bro, I'm like, bro, I'm starting to really lose my cool with fucking Americans, bro. I'm really starting to lose my cool because it's like, and these are adults. These are adults. Imagine the kids. Imagine these not high level IQ individuals teaching the next generation of children. We're fucked, bro.
Yeah, I mean the IQ is getting pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at one point, America was known as the undisputed best country in the world. Slowly and slowly, or my bad, slower and slower, we're losing that title. We really are.
Yeah, I mean, and again, there's a bunch of different factors for that, but it's just, bro, it's just unbelievable. But I will mix a little bit of sports in here because we're still at a pretty good pace, only 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So I will like to mix the one sport conversation in here. So there was a whole thing in the sports media about how Anthony Edwards and particularly LeBron James, but Anthony Edwards as well decided last minute to tell their teams that they were ineligible to play in the All-Star game. Okay, or games, I should say, because that's how dysfunctional it's become. But yeah, so and people are calling LeBron James selfish, stubborn, solipsistic, all to himself. He knew he was gonna sit out and he just chose to make it about him. He's in street clothes, still taking pictures, all this. I mean, we've all seen all of it going on. But what is your take? Because that is a pretty big story right now.
I mean, I think they were planning on not playing anyways. I think what they should have done was inform the league ahead of time that, they were feeling pain or whatever, they were injured, and it was best for them to not play. Okay, cool. They can find replacements for them. Like they literally just took two spots from two other guys that would have had it. Like there's player bonuses and all that stuff that goes into being an all-star. Like being an all-star is truly a reward. Like, I mean, LaMelo Ball could have potentially gotten in, and some people thought he would have been starting. So this would have been a good opportunity for some guys. Like people argued Domantas Sabonis was robbed. Other people are saying, Devin Booker. So there's a lot of names out there that deserve this spot but didn't get in because there's only so many spots. And you mean to tell me there was actually an extra spot on the table the whole time and they couldn't get it just because these dudes shut their mouths? Like that's ridiculous. Yeah, so I do agree with the public opinion about this.
Yeah. Okay. So I couldn't disagree more. I mean, I'm the complete other way on this. I and everybody has your take, so I'm not saying that you're necessarily wrong, but I just think everyone is looking at it from a bad angle. Okay. LeBron James was questionable with that left ankle the last three games that the Lakers played before the All-Star game. Okay, so this isn't a made-up injury, and Anthony Edwards was dealing with, I believe it was spasms. I believe it was. So I can't really say for Anthony Edwards, but I can say for LeBron James that he has been dealing with this, so it's not a fake injury. He has been dealing with it. Now, people have been saying he knew he was going to sit out for a while, or he knew he was going to sit out. If he knew he was going to sit out, why would he fly all the way to the? Why would he fly to the All Star game? Have them put his jersey out and everything like that just for a couple minutes before the game, not play. I think he thought exactly what he said. He said I was hurting, but I thought it would feel better. I took extra time. I came on Saturday. I thought it would feel better, and it didn't. And so I didn't play. Um, I don't think that that's the biggest deal in the world. I think he's being truthful. I think his intention was. You don't think he wants to play with Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and all that during the All Star game? Of course, he wants to play with them. I think he just said I just don't want to risk it tonight, right? And I think he has the ability to do that. Now, it's up to you if you think, well, he should have if he was hurting a little bit, he should have, but I don't know. I don't think I would have either. Am I going to pass up to a chance to play with Steph and Durant and all that? Maybe for the last time ever, because I could potentially be hurt. I don't know. I think I'm probably saving that in my back pocket and seeing how I'm feeling. Right. So we're forgetting about the human side to it too. Like LeBron wants to play, and so he tried to. He waited to the last second, and then he's like, "Nah, man, I just don't really feel like I can go." But I don't think it was this deliberate thing, like he knew days in advance and just didn't say anything just to draw attention. LeBron has enough attention. Okay. And LeBron just got Luka on his team, right? They're gonna be in the playoffs, they're gonna make noise. He has enough attention. He didn't need more attention by being in this all-star game. I think he generally wanted to play and he just couldn't. And the same goes for Anthony Edwards.
Well, LeBron was questionable 3 games for the Lakers, and that's for his team for games that mattered. So if he was questionable for games that mattered, you think he came into this game thinking to himself, yeah, this game is meaningless. Let me just risk it, even if I'm not 100%. He went down there simply because uh, I think he did want the attention. He wanted to get in the team picture. He wanted, he went there for the vibes to like hang out with all the guys and stuff. I genuinely think he went for that reason, bro. But he waited last second on purpose just to say he's not playing, for the attention and obviously for the team photo and all that stuff. Because if he never flew down there to begin with, he wouldn't have been in the team photo.
Nah, bro, because he still would have been in the team photo if he said he couldn't give it a go. Because he's not like LeBron doesn't lose the All-Star game accolade on his resume because he didn't necessarily play. So he could have still been involved in the pictures and all that. It just would have been an additional person, right? So LeBron could have done the same exact thing, right? He could have done the same exact thing and still not played. So people that are saying he just wanted the attention or he just wanted to be there or he just wanted to be in the team pick, he would have done that anyways, right? Like he would have done the same thing regardless, bro. I really do think this is Steph Curry. This is Kevin Durant. Of course I want to play with them. And I'm not just gonna give up my spot because my ankle's feeling a little sore. I'm gonna see how I feel. Right. And I don't think I would pass that up either. I'm just being truthful.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the All-Star game, bro. Nobody gives a shit about it in reality. I don't really think he cared about playing in a meaningless game like that with Durant and Steph that badly when he's already done it before anyways. I mean, these guys just won the Olympic title together. Like, you think he gives a damn about some All-Star game that nobody's gonna remember? He don't give a shit about that, bro.
Well, I mean, again, you got to look at it. We're looking at it from like a commentary perspective. You're not looking at it from a humanistic standpoint. Like these are still humans. This is still LeBron saying, I get to be on the court with Kyrie, Steph, Kevin Durant, no matter if it's meaningless or not. The cameras are still on. I'm still getting attention. You don't think LeBron would have loved to throw any of his teammates alley oops or catch alley oops or behind the back the Steph 4-3. Like, bro, LeBron wants to play basketball. He's a baller, right? And so we're looking at it from like a legacy or whatever, like meaningful. But like, bro, these guys are ball players, bro. LeBron James wants to go out and have fun with the greatest players ever, right? Maybe for the last time, maybe, right? So I don't think it was any of that. I think it was just more of, yo, I want to play, but let me see how I feel. And then the last moment just saying, no, I'm good, right? And if we're going to say that, then we have to say the same exact thing for Anthony Edwards. Why does the rules not apply to, I didn't never heard anyone talking about Anthony Edwards that way. And he did the same exact thing LeBron did. And no one was ranting about Anthony Edwards. It's all about LeBron. So is Anthony Edwards selfish, solipsistic, and wanted to get in the team photo too? Or was Anthony Edwards just being truthful and saying, yo, I want to play, but I'm going to see how
I
I
had
feel?
the I had the same point about Ant that I did for LeBron. So as far as the public goes, I mean, they probably don't want to criticize Ant because Ant's beloved by most of the media. They glaze him, say he has aura and stuff like that. He's beloved by the media, while LeBron is one of the most hated players ever. So yeah, the standards are just going to be different for them. But I have
Okay,
the same
so
take on both, though, personally.
Okay, so you think Anthony Edwards is selfish, solipsistic, and he did it to get to garner attention when he could have done the same exact thing and gave up his roster spot.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right, guys. But yeah, we're gonna move on, guys. We're gonna get to the end of the show. Before we get out of here, guys, I'm gonna remind you to like and subscribe. Help us to impact and to reach as many people as possible. If you're following us or watching us on Rumble, um, smash the follow button there to get a push notification every time we post. And then we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday, guys. Thank you so much for watching.